Hello everyone, welcome back to Naomi's Bookshelf. I am doing my 6-month check-in, we shall call it, seeing how I'm doing on my reading goals so far. So let's just jump straight in. So I just rewatched my goals video that I made in December. I have not watched it since, but I've had some of those goals in my mind as I've been reading. So I was wanting to just check out how well I'm doing, and some of them I'm doing quite well, some of them not really, and we're just gonna go into this all together. So the first goal that I had set for myself was to read one Agatha Christie book a month, which I have done successfully. Thank goodness. I have really enjoyed doing that, where I've been reading one Agatha Christie a month and just savoring it and not just rushing through her work. So I did read my one Agatha Christie month per month so far this year, and I am looking forward to continuing that. So my next project that I wanted to tackle was to read big classics. I wanted to read classics that were over 500 pages long for my Timeless Tomes project. I feel like I've done pretty well with that. I believe I read 4 or 5. I definitely read The Fellowship of the Ring, which was that part, but I have not read a big classic since then, as I did read, actually I read North and South since then, and I've discussed The Count of Monte Cristo, but I have not read it this year. So I've definitely put out some videos on that, and I've definitely done a good job of reading those. I've read at least 4 this year, and I am currently over halfway through War and Peace, and I'm excited to finish that one up and put that one up at the end of this month as well. So if you're looking for a new big classic to look out for, check out my review then. So the next challenge that I had was to read and watch, or combine that together, a Shakespeare play a month, and I have definitely accomplished that. I have really enjoyed this project, and it's definitely pushing my boundaries with Shakespeare and making me learn more about that writing style. I'm not a big play reader in general. I find it difficult to read plays, so I am enjoying watching them, and this is something that I want to continue on for a very long time. The next goal that I mentioned was tracking my reading, which I have done. I have tracked down all of the books I've been reading, except for one. I don't know how I missed one book on that. The numbers are off by 1, and I'm not going back to figure out what book I missed in that total. So I'm getting 99% of it done, but I definitely missed out on one book, and I honestly will not go back and find out which one it is. The next challenge that I had for myself was to try new genres and diversify my reading. I feel like I have been working on that. And when I said diversify, I meant genres, and I also want to do diversifying as well in authors that I read from, locations that I read from, but that was something that I wasn't even thinking about back then. I wanted to just read more broadly in general, and I hadn't really narrowed it down aside from genres. So the genres I mentioned were science fiction, let's see what others I wrote down. Science fiction, dystopian, and horror. Now, I have read science fiction and I have read dystopian. I don't believe I read horror this year though, so far. I have on my TBR, Home Before Dark by Riley Sagar, and I've heard that one is horror-like, or it's on that bridge, so I will probably read that really soon because I want to anyways. So that's one, but I definitely want to read more, and as this year's looking forward, I want to also read more diversely in where I'm getting my books from, who they are by, and locations that they're set. Another goal of mine was to finish some series. Now, this has been somewhat successful. I definitely have a long way to go on this. I have finished the Little House on the Prairie series, and I finished the Lord of the Rings series. So those 2 are done, which is great. I'm very proud of myself. Those were a lot of work, and I really enjoyed it. But I still have a ton of series to read. I wanted to finish the Wizard of Oz series, which I still have like 10 books to go. I want to finish Crazy Rich Asians. Still haven't picked up a book in that series. There's a few I need to get to, and those are priorities for the rest of the year, but I definitely have finished 2 series so far. So the next one was editing, how I edit my videos. I feel like I have gotten better at it. I have also taken up editing for my work, as we are now doing some sort of media format for the families who are no longer allowed to be at daycare, or not allowed to be daycare right now. So that's been a new part of my job, and I feel like it's making me learn a bit more. I am not perfect by any means, but I am feeling comfortable, and I do want to keep pushing my limits in editing. The next one was making my thumbnails, which I really struggled with until I saw Katie from Books and Things show how she makes a video. I'll try and find that video and link it below of how she makes an entire video from start to finish. And I really saw what she did with how did she make thumbnails, and I took it and ran with it, and I'm really liking how it's turning out from now on. So I feel like I am getting better at it, which I'm very thankful to Katie for making that video. Thank you if you're watching this. The next goal that I had set for myself was to read a list of books that I had really wanted to read last year and never got around to. And of this list, I think I have read 3, maybe. I have been failing at this challenge. And of those ones that I have read, I also have DNF'd one of them, so that's super disappointing. Another one was a really big miss, so I'm feeling apprehensive about finishing this list. I did notice that Emily from Novel Novels is reading Turn of the Key this month, and I asked her if she'd like to buddy read that, as that is on my list, and she said yes. So we will be buddy reading it this month, so that'll be one more at least off of that list, but I know I have a ways to go still. So the next one was making regular content, which means something along the lines of expected content that you could see from me on a monthly basis or bi-monthly basis. And I feel like I've done a pretty good job at that. I have been putting out semi-regular content where about half of the videos I'm making are consistently the same type or same series or same format, whether it be a wrap-up, whether it be a timeless tome review or a series review. I've been doing one of these like big things. I've also done my quarterly Agatha Christie, as I find that works better for me to talk about the 3 books in the same sitting. So that is something where I've been making regular content, I feel like, and I'm actually pretty happy with where I'm at. This has given me a lot of spontaneity in making videos that really suit what I want to do at the moment and are fun or interesting. I have a fun one coming up that is not my normal video, but I'm really excited to do it. And it is based on Pride and Prejudice. So if you're here and you're doing Jane Austen July, I am putting out my video, and I will give you a little sneak about it, a little hint. It is about Charlotte Lucas, and I'm not saying any more, but I hope that you come back and watch my Charlotte Lucas video in this month. It is something that I'm very excited about, and so having this spontaneity of patterns and times of video types, I am very excited. My next one I feel like utterly failing at, which is being selective with my readathons, because I am not. I try so hard to be selective, and then I just fail every time. I don't know if it's just me and having a FOMO, or if me just wanting to push myself, as I do tend to read more with readathon, so that helps me get my reading mojo on, but I'm not really sure what it is. I always want to participate. So I have like, I think 3 readathons. Nope, 4 readathons this month that I'm doing, which is nuts. And those are all on my TBR if you want to check that out. But I can't help myself. I try. I can't help myself. I fail. So my final goal was to read 150 books for my Goodreads challenge. I have currently hit 78 as of filming, which is very, very exciting. So I'm just over halfway, and I am not going to bump up my number. I'm not going to drop it, obviously. I'm keeping it at 150. I am happy with the amount I've read so far this year and the quality. I feel like a lot of the books I've read have been 4 or 5 stars. I'm not someone who wants to read a wide variety of quality books. I find that sometimes you just read books that you don't like, but it's so wonderful to find your niche and to know what you like to read. And for that, I definitely am happy that I have found the books that will hit my funny bone or my soft spot, and that really just work for me. So as a whole, I have read a lot of great books this year, and I've also put down a good amount of books that are just not working for me, and I'm not counting those on my totals either, because what's the point? I have included some of them if I've read far enough where I feel like I know I've read at least 50%. but most of the books I put down before that, so it all works out. I'm happy with the books I've read, and I'm happy that I put down some books that I have put down as well. That is the goals check-in for the year. I have done 6 months worth. I feel pretty good about some, and I feel like I need to improve on others, but that's what the rest of the year is for. Please leave a comment down below if you have completed your goals, if you're working on them still, how your progress is doing over the course of this 2020 insane year that it is for so many people. Please like this video if you liked it and subscribe if you would like to. I will see you next time with another video. Bye for now.